Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you all enjoying your wonderful Wednesday, okay? Because it's Wednesday. It's hump day, y'all. It better be the bomb-tastic, bomb.com and all of that is. I hope you guys are all having a blessed one because you guys deserve it. You know what I'm saying? We have had one hell of a weekend or week so far. Sorry, weekend. What am I saying? What a day. What a day so far. But I'm hopefully you guys are, if it's been a hard trek up the hill, we're now going down the hill, so it's the easiest part, right? There's only a couple more days until the weekend, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for that weekend. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button down below if you feel me on all of that ish. You know what I'm saying? And I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all you guys. Sorry for starting off a little late. I was just over at the Benjamin Dixon show having quite the conversation over there about a whole bunch of stuff, kind of a few things that we're going to be talking about over here as well. So we got some things to chop up about and get down to the nitty gritty on a few things. Hopefully I will be having my guest come on to the show today. Actually, I made a mistake. 1 second, guys. Let me fix this right quick. Make sure I have that going on. But yeah, guys, I am very, very intrigued about a few things that are going off right now. I mean, as we already know, and we've already talked about this. Let me fix this. As we've already talked about this before. We already know about AstroWorld, the things that are going on with AstroWorld, but things are starting to build even more. You see the title down below. You got Nike that is postponing Travis Scott's new sneakers. You got a $750 million lawsuit coming towards not only just Travis Scott, but also Apple Music, Live Nation, and all the other entities that were involved with this concert. I mean, there's so many stories and so many pieces of conversation that we need to have, and we gonna get into it real quick. My brother David is in the house. What's up, man?
Man, everything's good. Pretty tired today, but got some interesting topics to talk about. So,
yeah,
looking forward to getting into them.
Should be short and sweet and fun. You know what I mean? So a nice hump day show. Talk about all the craziness that's going on in the world. But of course, before we jump into everything, I know I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Hit that like button down below. Do me that favor. Hit that like button down below. And then, of course, crush that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. We are marching our way towards 50,000 subscribers. So please do me that solid, okay? Do me that solid, y'all, okay? That's all I ask. Go and hit that subscribe button and tell people about the show. If you enjoy this and this is part of your morning routine, part of your morning talk, you know what I mean? Part of your morning coffee and your workouts or whatever you do, your yoga, warrior position 1 or whatever, sun salutations and everything. If you're doing all that while you're listening to our annoying ass voices, please share. Let people know that this is your morning routine, okay? That would really, really mean a lot, okay? And I see a lot of y'all starting to file in. We got some stuff to talk about. A few things are a little like a day old, right? That it kind of broke yesterday that I didn't have a chance to talk about yesterday, but we are going to talk about them today. And there was something that broke late last night, in regards to this lawsuit. So we got to talk about that. So we're going to get into it, y'all. We definitely have got to jump right into it. And of course, we got this thing about Lil Uzi Vert that we need to talk about as well. I got some videos, some clips about that. Another concert situation. Another situation happens at a concert. But I honestly do believe that the concert venue itself or the promoters or whatever entity that put together that concert did the right thing. And you'll see what I'm saying when I show it to you guys a little bit later. But first, we got to go into our stories for today. We got to go into one of our main ones. One of the top stories of the day is Nike is postponing. They are postponing Travis Scott's next drop as Houston officials declined third-party investigation into AstroWorld tragedy. So this is very interesting too. The after part, the end part of this title, that there will not be a third-party investigation, which I really do think that they need to do their due diligence and go through and investigate the ish out of this situation, in my personal opinion. But we'll get into that conversation here in a second. Nike postpones, okay? So loyal fans of the Travis Scott brand will have to wait for his next drop with Nike, perhaps indefinitely. The athletic wear juggernaut has pumped the brakes on its collaboration with the rapper following the November 5th mass casualty event at his 2021 AstroWorld Festival in Energy Park in Houston, in which hundreds of people were injured and claimed the lives of 10 people, the youngest of which is Ezra Blunt. May he rest in peace. All right, 9 years old, who succumbed to his injuries on Saturday. And of course, we already talked about this. We broke the story Sunday night, and it was heartbreaking, right? Still can't believe that even happened. After much speculation about the future of Scott's lucrative partnerships, which, as reported by The Root last week, include a planned menswear takeover at Dior for spring-summer 2022, Nike made the announcement it would be postponing the release of the highly anticipated Air Max 1 Cactus Jack. The sneaker was initially scheduled to drop on December 16th. So this sneaker was about to drop right before Christmas. Worst time ever. Worst time ever. So this is a statement from the sneakers website. They say, out of respect for everyone impacted by the tragic events at AstroWorld Festival, we are postponing the launch of Air Max 1 Cactus Jack. And this, of course, was a statement made by the company's sneakers website. No further details or release dates were given, and Nike has given no further comment to media outlets. So Dior has yet to release an official statement on whether its collaboration with Scott, due to debut in February, will be moving forward. So this is, like I said, my thing is, okay, obviously this is not very good news for Travis Scott and the Travis Scott brand. But the one thing I have a problem with is that they are, let me go right up here, postponing it. That's my only gripe about this. So in other words, they're sitting here going, you know what? Well, we do have millions of sneakers sitting on the side, and we knew, we had a feeling that people were gonna, this is gonna be selling like hotcakes. But for right now, we're just gonna set it on the side, and hopefully this craziness will subside, and we can just do another launch. Let's wait a year. Let's do this next year instead of doing this right before this Christmas, because obviously there's a lot of people that are mad as hell at Travis Scott or at AstroWorld in general, right? And his face, his name, and everything is all over AstroWorld. My only issue is, I get it. You got to wait for the money, or you got to wait for, you just spent a whole lot of money. Nike spent a whole bunch of money to make these sneakers, right? But now, instead of them just going, you know what, let's just push it. Let's cut it as a loss. They're going, no, we'll just postpone. We'll just wait. What do you think, David? I'm not with it. I'm not sitting here saying, cancel Travis Scott altogether, make his life a living hell, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the families and all the other people that are victims from that tragedy are going to make his life a living hell, right? And he's going to need every single dollar he got, all right, to be able to pay off what we are about to talk about here in a second, okay? If it ends up being the amount that they're looking at right now, right? Almost $1 billion. This is a $750 million, billions of dollars. How's that? Okay. So that's a whole lot of quiche, right? And he still has a brand. I'm not sitting here saying cancel him. I'm just saying cancel the launch. Stop it. Toss them. Reuse them. I don't know. Cut them, reuse the material for some other brand or for some other sneaker or something. I just don't think it makes any sense for them to postpone. The postpone gives me great pause. David.
Yeah, kind of agree. It seems like they're more postponing it to kind of separate themselves from the incident that happened there. But I'm not really surprised this is happening. I mean, of course, Nike has the right to not associate with anyone that they want to. And they have had problems with several rappers lately. They started suing Nas X for those shoes with blood in them or whatever, because they were Nike shoes. But they dropped that suit, and so they started this one right after that. I don't think that's an accident, really, but they just I do think they're going to be pushing much harder on this particular incident. And like I said, they dropped the suit against Nas, but so I mean, I guess it still can make a big difference. I think though, while losing brands, he is going to be losing venues and shows because they won't be making as much money either, generally speaking. So it is going to hurt his ability to perform in a lot of places. However, I mean, we've seen other cases like this. Say when the pillow guy, I forget his name, he pretty much got canceled in every sort of advertisement whatsoever. But right wingers kind of came forward to help that stay up, and he actually became more popular because of it. This could be something similar, but it's kind of hard to say right now. As far as, I mean, this is changing their financials as well as his income, and that may have an issue that comes up with the possibility of a suit related to AstroWorld, and the possibility of him declaring bankruptcy, because as long as you have enough assets to liquidize and pay for your debts, you can't go bankrupt, technically speaking.
Yeah.
But if he's arguing that he needs everything he has, then the bankruptcy will just kind of go away. That's kind of what a bankruptcy does, really. It just makes it go away if you can follow the criteria that's there. And the main thing that balances out is that you have to liquidize your assets to get back to a livable amount of money, first off. So I do think this will have a big effect on him, not just Nike, not just through Nike, but through the venues and other places that are also sponsored by Nike. And there's a good chance there will be further separation from Travis Scott. There doesn't seem to be anyone that wants to take his side right now, other than a few fans, And I mean, I think that's reasonable from what we've seen with him telling people to rage and everything. That should hurt his marketability, definitely. And I think we will see that it does, because Nike's probably going to be the first in this line. But I do expect other sponsors of his to start looking at separation, because what he did there and him telling people to rage, they're going to associate it with their brand. And so they're probably going to withdraw their brand. It's pretty typical in kind of controversial cases like this.
Yeah, like, okay, on the business side of things, right? I understand, right? I fully embrace and fully understand we just fronted all this money to manufacture, let's just say, a product, right? And then say an artist who, for argument's sake, some people can sit here and say, well, he didn't know, should he be thrown under the bus for this, right? He didn't know. He's an innocent in this situation. He can't be, God. He can't be omnipresent. He can't be everywhere and anywhere all at the same time. So not all of this should be on him, so on and so forth. Or some other people might sit there and say, well, this too shall pass. That, yeah, he may have done one small, that maybe this tragedy happened, but give it a year. Excuse me. Give it a year. People are not going to care. And then it's also execs that are looking at this going, we spent a lot of money to manufacture these sneakers so that we do have a turn, so that we do have a turn on profit, right? So a part of you goes, or a company would sit there and go, well, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see, right? Let's just sit back and see what happens. Let's just postpone it because, yeah, parents are not going to want to go and pick up sneakers right now from Travis Scott. Not at all, right? But a year from now, they might want to be all up in that stuff. Quite possibly, right? Allegedly. So I get the postponing of it, but I think to me it reads greed. To me, it reads greed more than anything else. Rather than, you know what, I think it's just not a good move right now. Let's cancel this. Let's wait a little while. We can put out sneakers anytime, right? Or we can hold these sneakers for like another year or two or something. You see what I'm saying? Like, wait till the wave of controversy and negativity towards Travis Scott has subsided, right? And then manufacture something brand new. Mm-hmm. But he right now, at least for the rest of this year, or until that next big catastrophe, God forbid we do have another big catastrophe from now until the new year, but everyone's going to be focused on this situation.
And I agree with your assessment that they're just postponing this to wait for the heat to die down. I think that if in a year or so, like you said, in a year or so, if Travis Scott looks good and people are big fans of him again, they'll probably release those shoes or any of the clothing associated with it. So I agree with your assessment on that. If they really, you would think they would cancel, or not, I guess not cancel, but fire him or break their deal with him. But by postponing, I do think they're just kind of waiting for the heat to go down. And that leaves the possibility that people will be fans of Travis Scott again and their merchandise will be in higher value. Otherwise, they're going to have to pretty much write that off as a loss. I mean, that's pretty common, but this was a bigger deal. A lot of times when clothing gets written off as a loss, it is sent to like places like Africa. It's almost always brand clothing, like Nike in particular. So I just I think in a year we're going to be seeing a bunch of people dropping off those shoes in Africa, to be honest, because like I said, that's what happens usually with surplus clothing, and I do not see anyone wanting to buy this stuff after what happened.
Hell to no.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's possible people will change their mind, but I don't think they will.
I can see collectors actually buying it, right? Because it's going to be a one-of-a-kind type of thing, like Lil Nas X when he came out with his sneaker and everything. I mean, it was huge controversy. A lot of sneaker heads, a lot of sneaker collectors are going to go and buy it because it's a one-of-a-kind type of thing. So I can see someone going out of their way to actually wanting to buy this, actually obtaining one of those Travis Scott sneakers because, of course, it's going to be one of a kind. But it's only on a collector's level. It's only on a collector's tip. It's not ever going to be on anything deeper than that, in my personal opinion, right? I don't think kids are going to be running. Well, the kids are fans of Travis Scott are going to be fans of Travis Scott, but the parents who are actually spending the money to buy said sneakers are not going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, let's buy those sneakers. F no. Hell to the no. They're going to be like, no, baby, we are not supporting this man for what he has done. Media and the coverage has been terrible. Who would want to support a guy who let 10 people, one as young as 9 years old, die right in front of him? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are not going to be cool with it. So in my personal opinion, Nike should be just canceling the whole thing, not canceling Travis Scott. Let Travis Scott go into the court of public opinion and let him be on the chopping block and let him fend for himself. Let him defend himself, right? Instead of him hiding behind his mansion with his billion-dollar girlfriend, baby mama, and all that stuff, let him get out and actually say something, right? Instead of hiding behind these lawyers and all that, all of his esquires and legalese, let him get out and say something first, right? In front of the court of public opinion, and let the jury decide whether or not he is guilty or not. But for right now, the court of public opinion is this dude needs to go somewhere. He needs to go sit down somewhere and never perform live again. Now, here's the thing, too. This energy, right? This vibe, right? Whenever they do shows, is the same vibe and same show that they've been doing. Lil Uzi Vert, which we'll be talking about here in a little bit, right? Which is crazy. There's so much footage out here of Lil Uzi Vert. And they're all talking about this whole, we got to rage, all this raging stuff. So this is not a far-fetched thing that just came out of the clear blue sky. Maybe Travis Scott created that vibe, and that vibe continued and grew from there, maybe, and it turned into something else. I don't know. But this is a thing that's been going on. So I really do feel that they need to go into the court, in front of the court of public opinion, and let the people make their decision, right? Is he going to be canceled, or is he not going to be canceled? Are people going to buy his ish? Are artists going to actually work with him or no? That is the question. David.
So I was found a little bit more information on exactly how the financials might play out on this. So Travis Scott is worth about $60 million, meaning actually, that's all of his.
David, hold on. Hold that thought, because what you have right there is beautiful. And I the reason why I say this, it'll all make sense here very shortly. Hold that thought. Hold all that information. Let's go into the money part first, real quick. Right. Okay. So the next title that we have is Travis Scott is being sued, and all the other entities, for $750 million, y'all. There's a $750 million lawsuit coming for Travis Scott and every single person that was involved, every single company that was involved with that tragedy, with that festival. Okay. I do have a video, and the reason why I say this is because, it'll all, this will all lump together. So I want to talk about that. And I think this would be perfect after this video. So let's take a look at this. He's getting sued for $750 million, y'all. $750 million. That's a whole lot of quiche, y'all. By the way, hit that like button down below. I see about 500 souls watching on all platforms right now. Hit that like button down below. Send those likes to 300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot to both me and David. And also hit that subscribe button, y'all. Okay, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're working towards 50 million. It's so easy. 50,000 subscribers. We're just trying to get to that. Help us out, y'all. Help us out. But here it is. Yeah, so subscribe. But here it is, y'all. $750 million. That's a whole lot. Let's take a look.
Far in the wake of the tragedy at AstroWorld. Houston attorney Tony Busby filed suit on behalf of more than 120 clients today, including Axel Acosta Avila, one of the young people killed during the concert.
And this suit is seeking $750 million in damages against a long list of defendants, including Travis Scott. But this suit also names Apple Music and Epic Records, among others, that allegedly stood to make a lot of money from the event.
Marcelino Benito taking a closer look at the lawsuit and joins us with what Busby is saying about it. Marcelino.
Well, Len and Mia, this 55-page lawsuit is the latest one filed. It is one of 144 now tied to the AstroWorld tragedy. Tonight, attorney Tony Busby tells me their investigation has shown this event was a failure from the start.
This concert was doomed from the beginning. It was doomed even before they filed their operations plan.
Attorney Tony Busby and his team laying out their findings in this latest lawsuit tied to Travis Scott's deadly concert. After taking more than 50 statements and combing through hours of video from every angle.
We've gotten help from all over the country, really.
The lawsuit, filed on behalf of Axel Acosta's family and 124 other victims, is asking for $750 million in damages. Legal experts say money like that is expected with the tragedy of this magnitude.
The judgments can be astronomical.
Apple Music, who streamed the concert, at the top of the list of defendants. The lawsuit also filed against Travis Scott, Drake, Live Nation, even the Harris County Sports and Convention Corporation, among many others.
There has to be responsibility. Everybody shares in the responsibility, and especially those entities that stood to profit.
The suit alleges gross negligence and cites HFD's own incident logs to showcase the spiraling situation at the concert and repeated failed attempts to stop it before people were killed.
You can almost predict that something very bad is going to happen if you read the entries early in the day. We got to figure out a way to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
And you can expect more lawsuits to keep on coming. Attorney Busby says he plans to file another one with 100 additional victims in the coming days.
100 more people. 100 more people on top of what is going on right now. So we're looking at, we could possibly see, because that's 150 or so people right now that are filing lawsuits against Travis Scott, Live Nation, Epic Records, Apple Music, every single entity that was involved with this festival is about to catch a case. Now, the thing is, if everything goes according to plan, we're looking at probably $1 billion in a $1 billion lawsuit being hurled at every single entity that was involved with this festival. Crazy, right? And they say this is not an unfamiliar thing. This is very familiar, y'all. Very familiar. And I don't blame them. Damn right. You sue the pants off of every single person that was involved, because that young man that they're showing right here, not going to come back. All the other ladies and gentlemen, all the children that had died in this particular tragedy, they're not coming back. Sue the pants off of them. That's what I think. Now, David, you were saying something about I guess I lost David. But let me see really quick, guys. Sorry. But that's the thing, more than anything, that is I guess I lost him. Hopefully he'll hop back on. But that's the thing. You got something that is this crazy, right? You got an event where people don't give two damns. Even the lawyer said in that video, he said, real talk, he said they were doomed in the beginning. They were doomed from the beginning. I'm going to play that piece one more time because, like I said, this is terrible.
They filed their operation. It was doomed even before they filed their operations plan.
See what I'm saying? Like, that is some serious ish. So but that's the thing. They already knew that they were going to be cutting corners. They already knew that they were going to hire even security staff that was not even fully vetted or qualified to even be a security guard or anything of that sort. Now we are looking at a lawsuit of $750 million. They tried to shave off so that they can make a few mil, right, from this thing. And now they're looking down the barrel of a $750 million lawsuit. And that's just the beginning, y'all. That's just the beginning. We've only just begun. It's only the beginning, baby. Now, I, of course, needed to make sure and see if my boy David is back. But like I said, this is something that is frustrating, right? You look at a situation like this, you see that they could have used so many different ways of saving the monies, right? They could have saved monies in different ways. They could have shaved the dollars off in other ways, yet they shave dollars off on one of the things that's most important, which is the safety of others. The safety of others. Real talk. They shave the pennies off so that they can secure the bag But instead of bringing in somebody who is important, who would save people, they decided to save that for themselves, for their own pockets. Now, David, you were saying something about his financials and the monies he's got and all that. So tell us a little bit about that, man. I know
All right.
I know your internet's like really funky right now, but we can hear you just fine. I'll let you know if we can't hear you, you turn into robot voice.
All right. Yeah, I can like see all the pixelation right now. I don't know what's going on.
It's
but
pixelated like a mug, but it's okay. You're still,
my AI nature is coming through.
right. You're still giving out the information. You know what I mean, and that's important too. So we'll hear you. But go ahead, man. Speak on it.
All right. So the total worth of Travis Scott currently, and this is before the incident, is estimated at about $60 million. He is one of the highest paid rappers in the world right now. And they estimate that if he liquidized everything, he would have about $40 to $60 million total from that. And on top of that, I don't know the exact liability insurance they had, but I went through a bunch of event and concert insurance, and that tends to cap out at $2 million in terms of coverage. So basically, he's only got like $65 million to go to the $750 million lawsuit. Basically, that means he will have to liquidize most of his assets, and he will go through bankruptcy if those lawsuits go through. He just doesn't have enough money to pay it, and that's kind of what happens in an instance. So even if they have...
So hold on, real quick, because you said a bunch, and there was a little bit of pixelation, robot voice going on there. So I'm just going to reiterate just to make sure. So you're telling me that if after he liquidates all of his monies, he could be looking at getting bankrupt, like broke as hell. Like he'll be trying to buy a dollar menu McDonald's from the same company that he had a Travis Scott meal from. Am I correct?
That's right. From what I can tell, even at the most money that they have from this event, including his net worth, he won't be able to cover more than $100 million. He'll fall short of $100 million. I don't know the exact number, but he'll fall short of $100 million, and that means $650 million. Will still
David, hold that real quick. Hold that thought real quick. Do me a favor. Go reboot your computer and come back. Okay, because it sounded like I'm getting every other word, and I think everybody else is getting every other word too. So if you don't mind, just hop back on. We'll wait for you. Don't worry, baby. We're here. We ain't going nowhere for another hour. So we'll see you in a second, okay? But come back with more with that info though. You're in hot. Thank you. See you in a minute.
See you.
Peace. All right. So sorry, David's internet has been acting a fool over the past couple days, but he'll be back. But it looks like, and I was hoping that I was going to have a guest on the show today, but it looks like he might have forgotten, and it's all good. Things like that do happen, or he got probably tied up with other things. But he was going to be talking more on the financial side of things to begin with, which was now that we are seeing a $750 million lawsuit right now, are we looking at more? I mean, are we looking at some serious ish? Are we looking at some problems, right? Is Travis looking, not me, shoot, but is Travis looking at some problems here in the near future with all this, right? Because I mean, let's be real. That's a whole lot of money. Unless Kylie, like you remember, Kylie is allegedly a billionaire because of all the stuff in businesses and the makeup line and all the stuff that she has, right? That she's involved in. So inquiring minds would like to know if she's going to go in and just save him, right? Scoop up his bag and be like, what's a couple million, what's a couple $100 million? You know what I mean? Now, here it is, though, too. Let's point this out, too. Just because it's $750 million does not mean it's going to be a cold, hard $750 million. There's going to be some people that are going to settle out of court. Some people are going to bow out because, obviously, they're going to sit there and say, the lawsuit is getting too expensive or anything of that sort. Some people are going to back out. Some people are going to drop. So it's not going to be a hard 750. Some people, he might be like, hey, instead of you suing me for $1 million, hey, what if we gave you a cool 600,000 and you just walk away, right? They'll settle outside of court. So not all of it is going to be $750 million hairs, okay? But still, no matter what, if he decides to say, hey, man, I'm going after this. We're fighting this, babe. You know what I'm saying? They'll never take our freedom, like some Braveheart-ish. He's looking down the barrel of $750 million. That's a whole lot of money, baby. For someone who only has $60 million in his pocket. Now, that's so funny, because to me, if I had $60 million, I'd be happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'd be happy as hell. You know, I'd be happy as a pig and clean-ish. I'd be so happy. But the fact that we are looking at this, it's like we're talking about a guy who has $60,000 and he's getting sued for $1 million. That's basically kind of what we're looking at. Okay. This dude could possibly be looking at a $1 billion lawsuit because there's 100 more people that are looking at suing that ass. And like I said, all of it is not towards Travis, but a lot of it is. You got Apple Music that's getting sued. You have Live Nation that's getting sued. You have Capitol Records that's getting sued. You got Drake that's getting sued. And you have Travis Scott that's getting sued. In fact, I'm surprised that Kylie Jenner hasn't been sued yet either. I'm surprised she hasn't been lumped into this group because she got deep pockets and she was there. She was deleting ish as well. But David's back. Hopefully the internet will be more forgiving this time. So you were saying something about his liquid, like what he has as far as liquid, what he doesn't have, how he could possibly be looking at going bankrupt and the sort. So speak on it, my brother.
All right, so from what I remember, is it still?
It's yes. Try it again. Try again. No, don't. I mean, talk. Say something again.
Yeah, I was talking about his financials. If you can hear me.
Damn. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. But we could. Let's try it. You still have some more information, so speak on it, man.
Okay. I'll talk slower, so hopefully you hear everything I say. But Travis Scott's net value is estimated at 40 to 60 million, and that's with full liquidization of all of his assets. He would have about $60 million.
Okay, David.
Yes.
David, time out. How about this? Can you call in? Call in.
All right.
Can you call into the show?
Yeah, I'll try. Give it the number private.
Yeah, 314-766-4581.
Say that one more time.
314-766-4581. And this is only for David. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna let you go off of here and then call on here. Okay.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Because we need to talk about this, and this is some information we need to know. By the way, if you guys are watching this, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. I see 750 individuals watching on all platforms right now, so please hit that like button down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button or hit that follow button or that like button wherever you are watching this show right now. Go to my Facebook page where we are streaming right now as well. Hit that like button or hit that follow button. Same thing over on Twitch and on Twitter. Please, by the way, guys, follow me on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word, and also follow me on Instagram, The Pascal Show, one word, whichever one you listen or watch and use outside of YouTube. David.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So you were saying something about the financials.
Right. So
Much better. Okay. We're back at it again. All right. So you were saying.
yeah, basically all of the assets of Travis Scott come out to $40 to $60 million. That means after he sells everything, he should only have about $60 million. The event coverage, it looks like, I checked several venues. I don't know exactly who they used for coverage, but the average coverage for a concert of that size is $2 million. And as well as that, the concert, before they returned the money for the tickets, made $30 million. At most, Travis Scott would get about $1 to $3 million of that. So basically,
Wow.
if you combine everything, he's only at $70 million, meaning that he'll have over $380 million that he still owes, or a lot more than that. I forgot the exact number, but he'll still owe the vast majority. I think it was 750 million, right?
750. I mean, but again, that all depends on if all of it is towards him, and not all of it is towards him. It's going to be towards
Yeah.
record label, the Apple Music that was playing, that was recording the actual event, live streaming it, and all that. Live Nation, that was which was the concert promoter. I mean, every single entity that was involved with the festival is going to catch a case. Real talk.
Yeah.
So it's not only just Travis, but a lot of it is going to Travis.
Yeah, and that just really means that the insurance is going to dry up even faster, since there's going to be multiple people with claims that will be tied to it. So, I mean, it's not going to take a whole lot to make him go bankrupt, honestly, just because his value is $60 million and how high the total case is. Like you said, we don't know exactly how much of it is being sued directly towards Travis Scott, but he is named as the basically the primary in most of the lawsuits that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
There have mostly been, I mean, I have been looking for ones about Travis Scott, but there are definitely a good amount of them. I didn't make a record of their money or numbers, but it's I think out of the 750 million, it will easily be enough to make him go bankrupt, which does mean he won't pay it all off for the most part.
Right.
So after he uses up all his assets, he'll go to bankruptcy, and he won't pay anyone anything after that, unfortunately.
I mean, but they could still keep suing him until he does. They could still keep going after him until he actually pays it off. I mean, at least last I checked. I mean, isn't that what's going on with OJ? I can't believe I'm bringing up OJ in this situation, but real talk, isn't that what's happening to OJ? OJ wasn't able to, when he was found guilty in civil court, he still has not been able to pay off what he is owed to the Goldman family. You know, when they sued him in civil court, he still hasn't paid off those people. So I'm sure he's still getting tied up in court with lawyers and all that, while they're sitting there going, yo, where's our money? You owe us our money. You see what I'm saying? So they can still keep him caught up in court till he dies, or until he actually pays off what he owes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Live Nation decides to kind of sue them themselves. Because, like I said, that event coverage is going to be spread across all of the entities involved. And obviously, Live Nation, despite their history of having a ton of problems, multiple deaths and a lot of injuries, they still want to separate themselves from this, even though it's not necessarily, but it's not necessarily unusual at the kind of things we see at some Live Nation concerts. And they do host like major bands without problems, but out of all the major venues, Live Nation does have the most incidences of injuries and deaths at their concerts. But they could definitely, depending on what contract Travis Scott has, he could be targeted for devaluing the people that he was working for. And we don't know the details of his contract because it's private, but it's definitely possible that Live Nation will hold him culpable and try to kind of push off their own debts onto him.
That is very.
And I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, because we've seen the police. So the police are often hired by Live Nation to kind of protect the concerts. And I said this before, but usually they get paid by the concert venue because they're not getting paid by taxpayer wages to work for a private company. So what this means is that the officers there are kind of in the pocketbook of Live Nation. And I think that's partially why they seem to be focusing more on Travis Scott. And the police are unwilling to kind of investigate anything about it. It seems like they just want to push this off on Travis and have it done. And I mean, Travis does have a lot of culpability for what happened, but I honestly think that the wealth of Live Nation is influencing the investigation. That's why they won't let an outsider come in to do the investigation.
Interesting, right? That's the other part that I found very interesting as well, that they are not letting them do or have a third party investigate into this whole situation, because either they got everything covered or they got everything covered. You feel me? They got things to hide, and they don't want to make sure. They want to make sure nobody, and I mean nobody, knows anything more than what they already know. Because, you know, like I said, minutes before, a day after, a day or two after, you had the chief of police going on microphone saying that somebody was pricked in the neck with opioids, a security guard, only to find out that the guy never got pricked in the neck. He was just hit in the head, right? You got all these things where information is coming out, more and more information is coming out, where you could see HPD is doing everything they can to save face rather than take accountability for things that they should have done or things that they didn't do, right? So like I said, it's just like this laundry, like this avalanche of just really, really bad choices, really big mistakes that keep continually that keeps on happening. It's like this festival is like, in a messed up way, a demonic gift that keeps on giving in a way, right? You find out one thing, the next thing you know, you find out another thing, and then you find out another thing. Then you find out Barty Shahani is dead. Then you find out that Ezra Blunt has died, and that there are still people in the hospital that are clinging to their lives right now as we speak. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and I just don't understand why they're not letting a third party come in, do their due diligence so that they have proper information, the actual solid information and solid evidence for everyone out here that's still scratching their heads going, what the hell happened here? What went down at this festival?
And I really do think the only way we'll get a fair investigation is if a third party gets involved. I don't think it's going to be a fair investigation that the police are going to be going through here. I think it really is essential we have a third party overwatching anything, because like I said, and you've shown videos of it, the police were looking for Live Nation, and they were basically just partying there instead of doing guard duty. So, I mean, that's probably normal for what Live Nation hires these officers for. But ultimately, whatever reason they hired them for, their standards allowed them to not be whatsoever ready for this incident. And that's part of Live Nation's fault as well. Because, like I said, they're not being paid with taxpayer dollars when they're at this place. They're being paid with private money. So functionally, they're more like guards, even though they still have the power to enforce the law because they are officers.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, and that's this is it's just bad. Now I do have another article that I want to show here because medical staff did finally make a comment, did finally say something just the other day. I mean, it was like 2 days ago that they put out this article. Let me show it to you guys really quick. So medical staff at AstroWorld responded to 11 cardiac arrests, and at the same time, CEO of Medic Company says. So the CEO of Paradox, that's interesting. Paradox, the medic company hired by the AstroWorld organizers, spoke on camera for the first time Monday to set the record straight on what his team did and to defend how hard this staff of more than 70 people worked to save lives. So you got 70 people, 70 medical staff, 70 employees in this medical staff. And from my understanding, they were all qualified. They were all qualified to do the job. All of them. But it's 70 against 50,000 plus people. Allegedly, they're saying that there was like 54,000 people that were there. That's including the people that bum rushed the VIP section, all those kiddies that just ran through the opening. Yeah, they're saying 70 medical staff for around 54,000 people. Do the math. Do you think that's enough medical staff for what happened, for what transpired? I think not. So Alex Pollock told reporters said his staff faced the impossible feat of treating 11 people with cardiac arrests at the same damn time. He didn't say at the same damn time, but I felt like throwing it in there. He said, while an active threat like a crowd surge is underway, protocol prohibits them from going into a situation where they might risk personal harm. Yet his staff continued to go back into the dangerous crowd to help people. This is something I'll have nightmares about for the rest of my life, Pollock said. The team is extremely broken up about it. Seeing so many young people getting CPR at one time is just something no one should have to go through, even though we're medical professionals. We should be used to it. Even though we're medical professionals, we should be used to it. You can't get used to something like that. So, days earlier, Houston officials said firefighters were not in contact with Paradox staff. And when firefighters did ask for radio communication, we've already talked about this before, but this is interesting. They were instead given cell phone numbers, according to Patrick Marty Langton, president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. Pollock, who was working the concert, said Paradox staff did use radios provided by the event organizers. So you have radios that the medical staff had, but the security staff apparently did not have radios. And when the firefighters showed up and said, "We're here to save lives, where's the radio so we can talk to somebody?" Whoever turned to those firefighters said, "Well, here's a list of people. Here's a list. Here's a list." Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So you have, again, David, are you with me still?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you have, sorry, it seemed like it cut out for a second there, but here it is. You got firefighters that are showing up and saying, and let me pull this up. I have it on the screen, but I don't have it in front of me here. Where the heck did it go? Hold on one second. There we go. You have Marty Langton, all right? He is the president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. So I don't think he capping, talking about what he had to do. Him and his people, his men and women, his firefighters showed up to the fire, okay? Showed up to the emergency. Said, "Hey, guys, give me a radio so I can talk to somebody." Somebody called somebody. Somebody said, "Oh, no, here you go. Here's a list of cell phone numbers." But then Pollock, okay? Pollock, which by the way is the company, or he's like the head of the company of Paradox. He says he had a radio, that his staff had a radio or radios. His staff is 70. Wait, see what I'm saying? So you're telling me that they pull up to, like, the firefighters show up to this emergency, to this tragedy. They're given cell phone numbers, yet you have Alex Pollock saying they had radios. The medical staff, which was 70 people, against thousands and against hundreds of people that were getting crushed or that were seeking medical attention at one time had radios. But security did not. They had cell phone numbers. And a scapegoat, you're right. Of course, no one is expecting a tragedy or an emergency of that magnitude to happen all at the same damn time. Not nobody, okay? Not one person is expecting that, right? If this was a regular show, a regular festival where people are just, maybe getting too drunk, or they trip or they twist an ankle or something like that, or some guy is crowd surfing and he falls and he breaks a finger, or maybe as bad as an arm, right? You have medical staff to be there to take care of that. But you have 70 people, 70 in the medical staff for 54,000 plus people that are raging all at the same time. So you got all these other things that are going on. So it's very interesting. I have a thought on this, but I want to throw it over to David. Go ahead, David.
Right. I'm just agreeing with you that basically there's just not enough coverage there. So with 50,000 people and that many firefighters or EMTs, it's one first aid giver for every 714 people present at the concert, and that's just going up to 50,000. Estimates put it up as high as 100,000, but the most realistic ones seem to top out at 60,000. They estimated another 5,000 pushed in during the security event when Travis was telling them to rage. And they also believe that several thousand more snuck in during the duration of the concert, not as part of the mob rush, but just getting in for free. So likely, taking those numbers, there's not even one EMT for every 1,000 people there. And at that point, I mean, there's just no possibility for them to cover that much, especially in a mass casualty event where we're going to need a whole large group there for the triage, but there might be incidences going on elsewhere in the crowd. And they just simply don't have enough numbers to handle even the one mass casualty event that happened. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to handle multiple ones. So this is probably a cost-saving method of keeping their insurance cheaper, is or their expenditures cheaper, is to keep the amount of first aid givers they have down to a minimum. And I think we can see the problem here with that. I mean, this is the same thing we're doing with the police. That's why, for the most part, they're probably using police instead of private guards, because it's cheaper to get them to come outside of their work hours and come to the concert. And as you can see, they were just partying the whole time, so it's not really like hard work for them or anything. But altogether, there just simply was not enough people there to even manage one mass casualty event. If it had gotten more widespread than it was, they would have been overwhelmed within minutes. And it seems like they were having trouble just managing this one incident. So that is another big factor that could have improved this a lot. I still don't know exactly how many trucks they had, but it seems like there wasn't that many trucks to go out there and render aid. And I mean, like EMT cars or ambulances, anything like that by truck. So basically, these were, I think, cost-cutting measures. And because of that, it ended up meaning they didn't have enough people or the right types of guards to prevent this mass casualty from happening. They kind of set up the environment so that it could degrade into this, and Travis Scott pushed everyone over the edge.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it is. Or Travis Scott and Drake when he showed up too. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's pretty insane. So now the thing is that they say now Pollock, obviously the head of Paradox, he said they didn't have the ability to stop the concert. He said he believes the concert should have been stopped sooner, but that stopping the concert abruptly in that moment might have caused riots and worsened the situation, which I do agree with. There could have been a possibility of people just raging and getting even more upset and just destroying things because they were already on one. They were already at a 15, on a scale of 1 to 10, they were at a 15 and not a, you know what I mean? They were raging hard, right? So he said he can't speculate on what could have been done to prevent the situation. Pollock said the standard ratio of these types of events in one medic per 1,000 people. So Paradox had a staff and resources in anticipation of 70,000 people. So you got 70 staff workers, one person for every single 1,000 people. He had 70 people there. I don't know how that math works, but hey, okay. So when the actual concert attendance was estimated at 50,000 people, it was actually around 54,000 plus. All right. But see, that's the thing. You got 70, let's just say you have 70 medical staff members, right? And you have 54,000 people that are getting crushed. You got 54,000 people, hundreds of them are coming up to you going, my ankle, my face, my arm, my pinky, my finger. He can't breathe. He's on the ground. He's convulsing. He's going into convulsions, right? Hundreds of them doing this all at the same damn time. 70 ain't enough. Now, I understand, like I said before, this would have been a situation of, hey, you got 70 people, or 70 staff members for if they were going to go see any other concert that isn't Travis Scott. They're going to sit there and say, oh, okay, this guy drank too much, he's vomiting, or this person twisted their ankle or stubbed their toe, or you got a broken finger or a broken toe. And I'm not sitting here saying those are minor, but they're minor in comparison to somebody being squeezed to death and going into convulsions on the ground, or just straight up black and blue, just going blue in the face because they're dead, right? So with this situation, they were severely understaffed with the medical staff, severely. But they didn't know that it was going to be like this. No one knew the severity of this situation. No one knew that this was going to be like this. But the one piece that I find extremely interesting is that the fire brigade, yes, I went British, the fire brigade came in, asked for radios. They were handed a list of cell phone numbers. Mind you, cell phone service went to ish because, listen, that many people in one area trying to use their cell phones, first off, it's going to go to crap anyway. All right? So they're having that issue to begin with. Then, on top of that, to add insult to injury, you have Alex Pollock, the head of Paradox, saying, oh, we had radios. So who the hell was the person that handed the fire brigade a list of cell phone numbers instead of just handing him a radio? Saying, here's the radio, go to channel 2. Does that make sense, everybody? Plenty of other opportunities could have happened. That they could have saved more lives. But this all goes down to one word and one word only: miscommunication. All of it. Because if the head of that fire department knew about this thing, and they went in and knew about this, and they knew the people who were handing out radios and all that, if they all knew everything, maybe some more lives would have been saved. The other thing I wanted to say really quick before I throw it over to David is this last piece, okay? There's one other piece. There were people talking about how there were statements being made all over TikTok and social media saying their firsthand experiences, right? Of people dropping like flies, medical staff. They were saying medical staff in quotations, sitting there basically saying, oh, he didn't even know how to take a pulse. He was asking me to perform CPR or to check his pulse and all that. Now, I feel like when you're in, and I've said it before, I think that this situation was, they were in the shit, as soldiers would say. They were in the shit. They were right there. People are dropping like flies. what are you going to do in that situation? You're going to do everything you can to help those people. But if other people are dropping as well, you're going, hey, I'm working on this person performing CPR. Check. Hey, civilian, I'm sorry, but I need your help. I need to revive this person. I'm rescuing this person while this person over here needs rescuing. Can you check their pulse for me? And I think a lot of people are instantly going, oh, the medical staff don't know how to even check a pulse. But I don't think it was that. I think they were overwhelmed with the amount of people that were dropping like crazy. 11 people had cardiac arrests. Hundreds of people were injured in some sort of way. Imagine all of this happening at you all at the same time, coming in waves while you're doing compressions on somebody's body. It's overwhelming. 70 staff members, by the way, 70 against 54,000 people, where the most catastrophic thing you can think of was happening. You have a 90-year-old boy, Ezra, being trampled on. Those medical staff are dragging that kid out from under people's feet and rushing him into a place where he can be saved and helped, right? But while they're doing that, they're getting stopped by all these other people going, my friend isn't breathing. Or my finger, man. My toe, I broke my toe. I twisted my ankle. I think I broke my nose, man. While you're still trying to carry this young boy, to safety so that you can try to revive him. I'm just saying the lack of staff is one of the reasons why I think people are looking at the medical staff and saying, oh, their people weren't even qualified to even do CPR. And I beg to differ now. I've been begging to differ for a while now. But I think that they just didn't know what they were going to be up against. Period. David.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to start off with the radios. So basically, they were told to depend on their cell phones for some reason. And that's not really a reliable thing in a case like this, especially with 50,000 people there, which is enough to bring down the cell tower if everyone is trying to use it at the same exact time. So this is the exact situation where you do want a radio. And I've even trained for situations like this with radios. Possibly, they said they couldn't get a hold of each other, and that may be a training issue. Because on a lot of radios, you can set the frequencies yourself. And, you know, if you had a ultra high frequencies, it should work just fine through everything that's going on there. But they weren't able to get a hold of each other, which suggests to me that whoever was managing the radios did not set them to the same channels. So, you know, channel 1 for one radio was like, I don't know, say 340 hertz. And the next one is like 380 hertz. Basically, those should cut through, the higher frequency should cut through the lower one just fine. So there's really no reason these radios wouldn't have worked. They're not dependent on the cell tower. So I think that is an indication that somebody did not prepare the radios correctly, whoever they have managing their radios, if they were not able to get a hold of each other. And I mean, as for what was happening there, part of the problems were the delay in getting first aid. I mean, we've already talked about Ezra Blunt's father, where he had a heart attack, which was the most common incidence of there. He had a heart attack and passed out and dropped his son, unfortunately. And this is basically what happened to most of the casualties at the event. The pressure of so many people pressing against them was causing them to go into cardiac arrest. The woman that went brain dead had, I think they said, 7 heart attacks because of the pressure on her body by all of the surge pushing through her. And she had multiple heart attacks. That's what caused her to be brain dead, because she was going so long without oxygen to her brain. And if there was suitable care there, they would have been able to keep her on some oxygen and, you know, prevent the brain death. But they did not have anything set up. It also does not seem like they have a practice in triage, which is basically, triage is just figuring out who you need to treat first, who's most likely to survive if you treat them first. And they didn't seem to have a system up for that. They weren't distinguishing injuries or heart attacks whatsoever at the scene. So I do think the medical staff, even if they are like professional EMTs pulled from other places, while they might be good at treating people, the logistics of it is very different. And that was not there to make sure that the healthcare providers were able to provide the appropriate healthcare. In this case, mostly CPR and the like, but also getting these people oxygen to prevent brain death. So I do think a lot of this comes down to Live Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott saw the ambulance. He said it was a golf cart. I don't really think he thought that though. But ultimately, the responsibility for not getting oxygen there is tied down to Live Nation and the logistics they've created, as well as their plan to handle mass casualty events, because they do have a plan to manage mass casualty events like this. It seems as if they did not go through the process, which again suggests a lack of training. Basically, I think this comes down to just more and more cost-saving measures.
Right.
Like I said, they had less medical staff there, and they didn't want to hire a coordinator or a disaster worker. There are people that specialize in these sort of logistics, and they don't seem like they had any professional on the staff to manage that. And this isn't a reflection of the EMT and the healthcare providers, because they aren't trained in that. They might be trained in triage, but they're not trained in managing the logistics of this. So that ultimately falls down to Live Nation. Now, there are accusations of improper use of CPR. That would fall down to the medical staff. Some people are saying they were giving CPR to people that had a heartbeat already. I haven't been able to verify that. But if that is true, and I've heard it from multiple news sources, but I wasn't able to verify, like I said. But if that is true, it just makes everything here worse. It just seems like the whole situation, like I said before, it was set up by Live Nation to be a failure, and it was Travis Scott telling people to rage that pointed out Live Nation was cutting these costs to some of the most essential aspects that they should have, such as security and medical.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't know. Like when you're in the fray like that, and you got beats that are blasting low frequencies and all that stuff, and then you're trying to, feel for somebody's heartbeat while things are bumping. I feel like it could be kind of tough. But then again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a medic. I don't have a medical background or anything of that sort. But I would only assume it would be really tough to do something like that. But yes, they were cutting corners like a mug. David, try to hop on. Try to hop on with me on the stream, because I see you here. But let's try it real quick. All right, man. Yeah. Peace. So real quick, while he's putting himself together, I wanted to say really quick to Nat A, thank you so much for being a member of the show. It's so weird when they show the membership posts, they don't show them on the StreamYard, so I can't put them up to show you guys, which sucks. But I wanted to say thank you so much for being a member for 4 months. She said, listening while getting ready for the highway. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully you're having a safe drive down that highway. And then Lakeith, I wanted to say a big thank you for being a member as well for 4 months. He said, I want to shout out my sis and nieces this morning. First time watching. Love y'all so much. So I know Lateef has been watching the show for a while now. Okay. But I guess his sister and his nieces are watching the show for the very, very first time. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. Hello, sis and nieces of Lateef. Welcome to the Pascal Show family. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button down below. Most definitely hit that like button down below. Let me see if David, how you doing, man? You doing okay?
I hope so. Does it sound like it?
Yes, finally. Damn. Well, I'm glad we were able to maneuver and finagle our way around this. We finessed the internet. Did you see what we did, y'all? Shoo, you should just give us a like button for hitting that like button just for doing that. Real talk, we finessed that ish. That's how it's done, son. That's how it's done. But that's the kind of thing that's going on right now, revolving around the AstroWorld story, AstroWorld tragedy. As we already know, yeah, things are not looking up for Travis Scott right now. He is, as they say, I've been hearing stories about how, you know, Kylie and Travis are just devastated and all that. There's a possibility that Kylie Jenner could be on the canceled chopping block. I mean, she might be thrown into the court of public opinion here very, very soon to be judged by a jury of not her peers, to find out whether or not she is going to be canceled as well. Some people are sitting there saying, cancel that ass. I don't know. I don't know if I entirely agree with that. I think she was just there at the event, but she has been trying to find ways to cover that ass by deleting videos, deleting photos on her IG stories and all that, just so she can save face. It is not a good look for her. But we got to move on to our next story. All right. And this also revolves around concert stuff, y'all. Like I said, why can't we just learn, right? Why can't we learn from other people's mistakes and make things better? But there is something about this one where I kind of applaud the concert promoters and the venue, because what they did, I kind of agree with. So we got to go into this piece right quick. And it all revolves around Lil Uzi. Now, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but Lil Uzi Vert is a rapper, you know, rap artist. He had he was known to have the diamond. It was like a multi-million-dollar diamond that was surgically implanted in his head. Real talk. In his forehead. I'm not kidding. All right. But then, of course, when he jumped into a crowd, apparently somebody tried to rip it off his face. Something we all figured was going to happen. So he had a concert. And people were people are feeling some type of way about this particular situation because I think he did a very bad thing. I think he made a very bad move, and I'll explain here in a second. Let me pull up this article right quick. Okay, Lil Uzi Vert, to be young and stupid. Okay, Lil Uzi Vert refuses to stop concert despite fans shouting that people are fainting. Now, right now, we live in this time right now where we are hypersensitive about concerts, right? About going to concerts and how we need to make sure that we are all safe. We want to go back to concerts again. We want to go back and have a great time, right? We want to sit there and say, yo, man, I had the time of my life. You know, my spirit was lifted. I went to a whole other dimension. You know, I had a spiritual experience at that concert. I cannot wait to go see that particular artist, or I cannot wait to go to another concert again because I had the time of my life, right? Well, Lil Uzi Vert had a problem and was refusing to stop the concert, okay? Unlike all the artists that have stopped their shows in the last week to help control the crowd following the tragedy of AstroWorld Festival, Lil Uzi Vert refused to stop his performance at Day in Vegas, telling his fans that he doesn't take breaks, despite cries from the audience that people were fainting. Safety was a top priority at the Day in Vegas musical festival this past weekend, which saw performances from Kendrick Lamar, Doja Cat, Rowdy Rich, Freddie Gibbs, and more. Even SZA was there too, which, by the way, SZA, anytime she's opening for somebody, people start getting, I'm just saying, she opened for AstroWorld. I don't know. It's nuts. It's a weird omen or vibe that's going on. But Lil Uzi Vert also performed at this show. But not all of his fans were happy with the rapper following his set after he told his fans that if they were struggling in the crowd, they could leave. This is what he was wearing. on the stage. When fans in one area of the crowd shouted at the rapper to stop performing and address safety issues after some people allegedly fainted, he said, "I don't take no breaks. If it's getting bad, leave. If you ain't going to leave, stay." In several videos circulating on social media, fans can be heard screaming at Uzi, telling him, "Stop the show, Uzi. You're effed up, Uzi. There's people effing fainting, bro." This happened directly before Uzi told the festival organizers not to stop his rage. A computerized voice told the crowd to take several steps back to give people in the front of the stage room to move. And then Uzi's set was cut short. He only performed a handful of songs after showing up 30 minutes late to his 50-minute set. Okay. So, damn, David. Damn. Now, we got footage. I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to show you some footage, but real talk. This is some irresponsible-ish. This is how you get canceled. This is how you get on the canceling chopping block, especially after what just recently happened. Especially what just recently happened. Real talk. You just don't do that. Okay? You just don't. You don't just sit there and after all these people have been fighting for their lives just a little bit ago to suddenly go, "Hey, I don't give a damn about anybody. If you hurting and if you uncomfortable, leave. I'm busy raging up here." That is some selfish ass ish. Now, we got footage that I'm going to show that ass. I'm going to show it to y'all because here it is. This is not how you treat your this is not how you treat your fans, y'all. You don't. And I don't care. Like I saw some people do some commentary on this being like, "Yeah, now it's a trend to stop what you're doing when you're on stage to make sure people are okay because, that's the trend now." No, it's not the trend. It's just called people being human beings and taking care of their people. And maybe right now it's hypersensitive and people are doing it even more now because they've learned from this man from AstroWorld's bad lesson that that you need to make sure that your people are okay. And more than ever right now, people are selfish as hell. People are selfish as hell. They don't care about nothing. They only care about getting as close as they can so they can get the best video or the best selfie of you on that stage. And some of these people are getting crushed and possibly dying. So, of course, these artists are going out of their way to be like, "Yo, guys, stop." They're learning from that mistake. They're learning from that tragedy. But some people out here going, "Oh, it's just here we go with another trend, these super hypersensitive woke people." No, it's called a person's life, yo. But Travis Scott right here is showing his ass. That is some selfish ass ish. I'm telling you right now, selfish as hell. If you got the crowd coming up to you being like, "Hey, man, slow down, stop the show," or tell people to back up, something, because people are fainting, you should do so. But let me show you. Let me show you what I mean, man. Let me show you exactly what I mean. He said, "I take no breaks. If you want to leave, leave. If you want to stay, stay," basically. Take a listen.
Okay then, so I'm doing pretty well for myself. I don't take no breaks. If it's getting bad, leave. If you ain't gonna leave, stay.
Let me repeat that one more time.
Okay then, so I'm doing pretty well for myself. I don't take no breaks. If it's getting bad, leave. If you ain't gonna leave, stay.
That's just one video. There's more. Oh, there is more. But he literally said, if you want to stay, stay. If you want to leave, leave. Oh, I'm doing pretty well for myself. But if you want to stay, stay. If you want to leave, leave. There is a clip where he does say something along the lines of like, "I'm busy raging." right? He's like, oh, I'm raging right now. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm good, right? But he literally tells people to leave. This is after people are telling him, hey, guys, this is after people are telling him, hey, slow down. People are getting crushed. People are fainting. Now, he says all this stuff, right? And by the way, he showed up 30 minutes late to his own performance, to his own 50-minute set. So he was supposed to be on stage performing for 50 minutes, and he shows up 30 minutes late to his own performance. So he already in the wrong right now. He already in the wrong, y'all. He done mucked up before he went on the stage because he was 30 minutes late to his own performance. And I'm sure he was allotted only 50 minutes, and then the show's supposed to shut down, right? Well, he goes on. He says what he said. People are fainting. People are leaving. You saw in the video. People are leaving the area. They're saying, F this, we out. He says, I'm busy raging. And then this happens. Whoops. Let me, I can't play the music, unfortunately. Thousands of people out there. So he goes up, he's saying all his stuff. He's trying to rage. They play the music, and then suddenly they cut off his mic. They cut off the sound, everything. They shut him off. Concert promoters, the venue shuts him off. So he gets so angry, he throws the microphone into the crowd and storms off the stage. Now, here's the thing. Who's in the wrong? Who's in the wrong? Is Lil Uzi Vert in the wrong? Or is the concert venue in the wrong? They shut him down because he was up there not giving a damn about the safety of his concert goers, of his fans. All those people, even so, when the music cut out, they're rapping his song. They're rapping his song all in unison because they already know the song. But the venue itself shuts him down. I think it was the smartest move ever. If you're going to sit there and say those kind of things and be like, I don't care, you know, and you're going to be a dick about it. Yeah, I said it. If you're going to be a dick about it, you're going to get shut down. This is exactly what should have happened at AstroWorld, but it didn't happen. David, what are your thoughts?
I think I mostly agree with you again on this one, but basically I see it as just a repeat of what happened with the case we were just talking about with Travis Scott. So, I mean, it's almost the exact same thing. He's not telling other people to rage, but he is saying that he is raging while people are at least allegedly passing out, and enough people are yelling it that it's probably true. And that's one of those things. Like, you know, he said you can leave if you want to, but that's not how this really works. That's why these crowds are dangerous. When you have a crowd that's that tightly packed, any sort of large movement could easily trample somebody. I mean, you even see this in relatively peaceful incidences like pilgrimages in Jerusalem and the Hajj and Mecca. Almost every other year, people get accidentally trampled just because of how tightly packed they are as they're walking through. And this is that exact same situation. And he was given the same warnings that Travis Scott had, and he chose not to act on them.
Exactly.
I mean, if anyone's been in a crowd this large, you can tell how you don't have any power there. Like even just walking down, say like San Francisco during a busy hour, you can't really, if you're walking on a street, you can't necessarily go where you want because the crowd's so thick. You just kind of have to follow the flow sometimes. So I think that's a large part of that. On top of that, one thing we see, at least for the past maybe 5 or 10 years, is the vast majority of new rappers do not focus on any sort of political ideas or any ideas of progress. I mean, I would say NWA is probably the most iconic of like gangster rap, but a lot of their stuff was about social issues and social problems. They weren't always just singing about who they banged and what they took, like you get at a lot of these modern rap concerts. I mean, you still get people like Kendrick Lamar and others that have socially in depth lyrics, but you just
Right.
don't get that with a lot of rappers like this. And I think that is part of the rage. The music isn't as thoughtful; it's more emotional, and this is kind of what you get in incidences like this.
Right, and it's more rock and roll. If you think about it, it's more rock. Like, hey, I want to, I want to do this. I want to drink. I want to do drugs. I want to get crazy and all that stuff. And it has nothing to do. It's like party music, basically. It's getting dumb. It's getting high, getting stupid, and having a great, and just having a good time, right? And it's that kind of vibe that they have, especially when they go onto the stage. I mean, this is a mini Travis Scott, if you will. You know what I mean? I mean, he is short in stature. I'll be real honest. He's not the tallest man in the world, this guy. But at the same time, people play his music and just rage. And the thing is like, you would think that somebody would learn from this, from other artists' mistakes, right? Other concert mistakes. Right now, everyone is hypersensitive about going to a concert. So when you see somebody fainting because they have either lost, there wasn't enough air around them, let's just say, or they were actually crushed, right? We all have to do our part to make sure that that person who has fainted or any other person is safe. We got to make sure the safety of other people is taken care of, right? Is warranted. And now you have these people that were fainting, and he's saying they were saying stop the show because you have people. It wasn't just one person. Even if it was one person, it's like, yo, that person's life is valuable. It's valid. Stop real quick. Push back. Stop the show. And it takes 2 seconds. It's not like it's something where we got to stop the whole show. No, you stop the show for 2 seconds to go, hey man, hey guys, back up. It looks like this girl passed out, or it looks like that dude passed out. Everybody back up real quick. Let's just make sure our family is okay. 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 Thank you. Let's get back to the show. That's it. That's it. You don't go crazy on people and say, oh, I'm, this, I don't care, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rage. This is what you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. And this kind of mentality and this vibe, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that gets you canceled, Lil Uzi Vert. This is what gets you canceled, bruh. Period. If you show no disregard for the safety of your fans, you're about to be thrown on the canceled chopping block. Period. Because all those people out there, they're coming to see your ass. They're buying your merch. They're buying your CDs and your albums, and they're buying those are the people that are streaming your music on all those platforms and all that stuff. That's what's going on. You need them to be able to survive as an artist, as a successful artist. I'm surprised this isn't like, I'm surprised he hasn't even come out with an apology, a statement of any sort. He hasn't come out with nothing, y'all.
I mean, Travis Scott's fake apology didn't go over too well, and I'm sure his would have been very similar because he doesn't seem to have any sense of remorse about this either. Or, I mean, he doesn't even seem like he cares. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like he cares, and he knows the danger that's involved, especially if people are passed out. So yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I don't really, I've listened to a lot of Travis Scott, but I've never listened to Lil Uzi. But it seems like he has, that similar lyrics where it's mostly just about violence and drugs, like every song. I mean, not just one song. So it is the kind of music that stays negative the whole time. Uh, and I think that does affect the audience because there's no point during the concert where you really have like an uplifting song or you have a ballad or anything like you might see at like a more like I guess like at a metal concert that it has lyrics like this that's focused on violence and stuff. It's just
Right.
it's totally different. I do think that Lil Uzi should have been more aware of what's going on in the audience. This is a problem that keeps happening. Obviously, that they should realize by this point that if there is some sort of surge, most of the people involved don't have a choice. It's the sheer force of the people behind them pushing forward that's causing them to move in, not their own desire. That's exactly what causes those heart attacks. And to give you an idea, the reason they're having a heart attack is because there's so much pressure on every part of their body that their heart cannot expand the rest of their blood vessels or the rest of their veins and everything correctly. That's how tight the pressure is. Your heart is not able to overcome it. Your heart is a muscle and it just can't handle that force. And these are the situation. This happens a lot, unfortunately, but he seems like he's just doing a repeat of the Travis Scott where he doesn't seem to care about his fans whatsoever. He just wants to finish his set.
Yep.
I guess.
I mean, and then on top of that, to add insult to injury, the whole thing, he shows up 30 minutes to his set. He shows up 30 minutes late to his set, in which he's supposed to be doing a 50-minute set. So he's already saying F you to the venue by showing up late to his allotted time, to his scheduled time. So, I mean, it's just like one thing after another, man. Like he done mucked up. Like he was being an idiot. He was being an idiot. And this is the type of behavior, this is the type of vibe and energy that should not be at venues or concerts anymore. Now, you can still rage and rage safely. You can still rage and let yourself go and have a great time and get crazy, but still do it in a controlled way. And when you have somebody throwing a little temper tantrum, like a spoiled little brat, I mean, these are the heroes that people are looking up to. These are the people, these are the role models that they're going to, that are inspiring these kids to do whatever they want to do, whatever it is that they want to inspire them to do with their lives. The power of the voice is one hell of a thing, y'all. And all he needed to do is just say, hey, guys, back up. We can continue raging, y'all, but I need y'all to back up. And God knows what his thoughts are about this whole thing, right? About this whole tragedy that happened at AstroWorld. God knows what his thoughts are, okay? God knows. But still, no matter what, it's about the safety of your fans. It's about the safety of others. That matters more than anything when it comes down to this whole situation. This guy shows no care, no regard to anyone's safety. He only cares about his own damn self and securing that bag. And when the concert goers or when the concert venue decided to shut things down and turn off his mic and turn off the DJ's turntables or probably his computer and shut the whole operation down, that was probably the smartest, I believe, was the smartest move they could have done with that situation. Things could have gotten worse. And nobody's about that life trying to promote or push uncontrolled rage. Anyway, guys, that is the show today. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who came on. I really do appreciate all y'all for being on. David, thank you. Thank you for so much for being on, man. I really do appreciate you coming on and chopping it up, even hopping on different ways, the phone, and then coming back on because the internet on your end finally decided to work. So I do appreciate you coming on, man, and chopping it up with me, man. Real talk.
Yeah, it was a good show. I'm glad I was here to talk with you about it.
Yeah, still some heavy stuff and some lightness in there. Oh, snap. I lied. Hold on. There's one last thing I forgot. It's a little funny. David found it. I thought this was a funny story. We need to bring it up. It is very, very left turny. Okay, so don't leave yet, y'all. The show ain't over yet. I lied. Okay. There is a story here that's just messed up. That's just straight nasty. Okay. But we need to look at this. Give me 1 second. Because David sent it to me, and I was like, man, this is funny. This is actually funny. And it's disgusting, but it's funny at the same time. Nonetheless, it's funny. But there is a video, a DoorDash, security cam footage. DoorDash driver defecates in customer's residential lobby after dropping off order. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry, Lax Paint. I'm sorry, man. I just figured we need to have something funny to laugh at real quick. So we about to do that right the F now.
It could be a 10 from the beginning here. So this building manager got a call from one of the neighbors saying that there was feces all over the lobby of their 19-unit Brentwood building. So the building manager starts calling around. She thought maybe it could be a tenant with a dog or a baby, and somehow that may be responsible. But unfortunately, it wasn't. Take a look at what the security video found. She says she was just shocked by what she saw. Now, this happened on Friday. So a woman who had just delivered her a salad through DoorDash, you can see her appearing to walk to the lobby's trash can, then use it as a toilet, eventually taking off her top, wrapping it around her waist, then just walking out of the building without even cleaning up the mess that was left behind. The building manager says she was absolutely horrified at these images. Listen here.
What I saw, I could not unsee. I was flabbergasted at what I saw.
I'm sorry. It's the lady for me. Okay. And the funny thing is, she didn't even bother. The lady who defecated, that took the dookie, she didn't even bother to even wipe that ass. Like, she just wrapped something around her waist, which makes no sense. But then she just took the dump and then walked off.
Well, looks like she pushed it into the hole with her hand first, though.
She pushed it in the hole with her hand, and it's like, oh my God, how often does she do this? Does she do this a lot? I mean, I understand when you gotta go, you gotta go. You feel me? But she went and she just went skadoosh. She dropped the kitties off at the pool, but not actually the pool. She put it off on the, by the cul-de-sac. Okay. I was flabbergasted. Sorry, I had to do that.
She let it go. I mean, that saying.
This woman's amazing.
You gotta go. And boy, did she ever. You're 4 steps away from outside where there's a bush or your car, or I don't know, but not in the lobby of a Brentwood apartment building. This is a health issue. You have a human being who's taking a poop in the middle of her job in a lobby of an apartment building and then resuming her job, which is delivering and touching food.
She is very triggered.
I don't blame her. It's her lobby.
Apparently, she had just done. Now, Lisa reached out to DoorDash, who sent this response, quote, "The trust and safety of our community is extremely important, and what's shown in this video is absolutely unacceptable. We are actively investigating this and will take all appropriate actions, including cooperating with law enforcement on any investigation." Now, Lisa says that they wrote back to her and essentially offered her a refund on her salad and also gave her, on top of that, a $20 credit to DoorDash. But she says this is a much bigger issue. That
facts. $20
is not enough. She wants this public health issue addressed first. And she also says she is not going to be using any food delivery services, either DoorDash or any others, in the meantime, anytime soon. Reporting live in Brentwood, I'm Chelsea Edwards. I'll send it back to you guys.
Okay, so this is nasty. Okay, nasty. But this, okay. All right, we've already talked about this several times before. A couple other times we talked about DoorDash or Postmates or any of these people that are actually delivering food, right? You are putting the trust of somebody else dropping your food off, not dropping dookies in your trash can in front of everybody, but Dookie Dash, exactly, Dory. But one thing that, you are literally, that's kind of how it goes, y'all. Ain't that kind of how it goes? Great nose job, by the way, on the girl. But here it is. Ain't that how it is? Real talk. You're putting you're putting your food in some stranger's hand. It is a stranger taking the food. This is not an employee of, let's just say, of Chipotle or something like that, right? It's not she clearly goes to Chick-fil-A. So let's use Chick-fil-A. It's not like you got somebody going and getting Chick-fil-A and that works at Chick-fil-A delivering that food for you. This is a independent person that does this most likely on the side for some extra cash, independently by themselves in their car, scratching their ass and picking their nose and all that stuff, handling many other people's stuff, including your food, and dropping it off at your crib. So it's not like there's some sort of psych test that you take before you get when you get the job at DoorDash. They don't care. You want to get hired for this thing, you go and get hired for this thing. That's it. They're not doing a psych test. They're not checking your car, for the most part, to check if your car is a sanitary environment. No. There was a video I did a few months back where the woman's car, she was clearly delivering for DoorDash. And this guy was showing this car, and the car was infested with roaches, crawling all over that mug. Now, I'm not we don't know the woman's living situation. We don't know what her mental state is as well. But at the same time, she was working for DoorDash. And DoorDash didn't stop her and say, yo, y'all, wait a second. Hold up. We need you to at least clean your car before you start handling the food. No. She been doing exactly what she been doing. So for anyone out here that is surprised, I mean, even so, like the trust and safety of our community is extremely important, and what's shown in this video is absolutely unacceptable. I'm sure that there are other moments that have happened with DoorDash that we don't know about, but they know. They know that they got people that they hire that are not clean. Let's just say. Let's be real. We talked about this a couple months ago, but we're going to talk about it again. A lot of people don't wash their ass as often as they should be washing their ass. Let's keep it straight for zonky up in this biznai, okay? There's plenty of people that don't even wash their hands after they take a dump or after they go and take a piss. Let's be straight funky, okay? Some of y'all are funky, and you're still handling food. Look at all these fast food joints. I'm sorry. Some of those dudes, there's a sign on the wall right by the hand, soap or the hand dryer that says, wash your hands before you walk out. It's the law. And none of these dudes, they'll pick their nose, scratch their ass while they're sitting on a nasty, crusty ass toilet at Taco Bell, put that visor back on their greasy ass head and walk out and go, welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order? Would you like some nacho fries with that as well? And they're sitting there nasty with the nasty dirt under the nails and stuff. So, hey, if you got a problem with people handling your food, learn how to cook. That's it. Because you can never sit here and go, oh, those DoorDash people, they're good people. They're good people. Every single last one of them I don't know why I went Trump there, but they're good people. They're good employees. They don't do those things. They're sanitized. They're sanitary. No. You know how many times I've ordered something from Chick-fil-A or a Chipotle, from a DoorDash or a Postmates, and it never shows up to my front door? Do you know how many times that's happened? People will straight up steal that ish. That person, Lionel has your delivery, has your order. He's on his way. And then 15 minutes later, it'll say delivered. And I show up to the front door and it ain't even there. I'm like, where's my Chipotle? He said he dropped it off. No, he took it for his own damn self. There's plenty of people that are doing all kinds of crazy ish. So this should not be a surprise to anybody, y'all. Don't trust anybody serving you food because some of these mother lovers are nasty. I'm done now, David.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know why this woman decided to poop on a toilet instead of going to a bathroom.
Oh, trash can?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Because normal people poop in a toilet. You see what I'm saying? And I get
Right.
it. Some people have to hover because some toilet seats are nasty. So I can see somebody actually going to poop. Oh man. Oh, my bad. I pooped on the toilet seat because I was hovering. I get that piece. Okay. But in a trash can on the lid? No. And then she did this. She just scooted it into the hole.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You can ever since that rat video came out, there's been a Popeyes ticket or coupon on DoorDash, so you can get both of it mixed together. You get some rat meat with your I'm not even going to say it. It's gross.
Sounds awesome. Sounds delicious. See what I'm saying? So here it is, guys. When it comes to DoorDash, don't be surprised. You are getting what you paid for. And I'm not trying to knock DoorDash. I love DoorDash. I do. But there are some people you are literally, it is Russian roulette. Some people are really great. Take their job very seriously. Their car is clean, right? They're clean and all that. And then you got other ones that literally live. It looks like they live in their car. And we all got to make money somehow, right? But you are getting what you pay for. That is an independent person taking your food and dropping it off to you. And if you're lucky, they're dropping it off to you and they're sanitary, if you're lucky. But a lot of times you're getting some people who are sitting there going, hey, your food's been delivered and it hadn't been delivered at all. And then you got to call, Chipotle or any of the other places that do DoorDash or Postmates and reorder your food again all over again. Because that person stole your food and that person's still out there delivering other people's food. Welcome to DoorDash. So, yeah, this is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But we gotta do that. We gotta do that part one more time because her reaction was just bloody amazing. Bloody amazing.
See, I was flabbergasted at what I saw. She let it go. I mean, that saying, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And boy, did she ever. You're four.
She is seriously triggered. I totally understand it, though. I totally understand it. But this girl defecates in the lobby of her place. I wonder what she ordered, though. I wonder if it was like enchiladas with like refried beans.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. But that's nasty. All right. That's nasty. Okay. And then, like I said, when you got to go, you got to go. And I get that. Sometimes when you got to go, you just got to go. Like we got to get going. So anyway, guys, again, David, thank you so much for coming on. And thank you so much for that story. Because that was just plain nasty.
Yeah,
it was. And fun.
Yeah,
right.
It's one of the worst stories I've seen in a while, but at least it's not as bad as some of the other ones. It's just disgusting.
Right, and it's not death. How's that?
Right.
It's defecating. It's defecating, but it's not death.
I had to share it. Yeah, I had to share it because I was just drinking protein milk when I watched it, and I suddenly don't want the rest of it. So I wanted to share it with everyone else.
Numbing. And especially if it's like really chunky because you didn't make it that well. You're just drinking and it's like you're getting a chunk while you're seeing her drop a dookie on a trash can lid. I mean, yeah, you can't make this stuff up. And then I'm assuming that woman went off, didn't wash her hands, and delivered more food. So somebody else had her fecal matter on those. I'm done. Spread the love, everybody. Yes, Queen Kimberly. Spread love, not feces. Okay? But anyway, guys, before you head off, please do me that favor. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to crush, nuke, destroy that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we are working, like I said, we are trucking our way to 50,000 subscribers. So jump on, join the family. If you feel like supporting the show, please hit that join button, or you can join my Patreon, patreon.com/thepascalshow. That would be great. We would really appreciate it as well. Anyway, it is time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.